Hey everybody, this is Kira, and I'm here for our fourth pick of the day sets. I think I just gave up on the names a lot of the time. This one is a special episode, sorta, mostly because it focuses entirely on Nowhere. The devs did 2 weeks, and released 7 pictures. There was a early one that came out, I believe it was on a Thursday. Maybe it was a Tuesday, but I'm pretty sure it was a Thursday. It came out earlier, which we'll discuss that one later. But this is exciting because Nowhere was kind of just... It was in the old game, it was kind of just there, and I could get away with that because there really was nothing in Nowhere, and it could get away with just being so simple. But it was a little sad that it was kind of just... It was just pushed to the side and just left there. So it's really nice to see that there is going to be much more attention on it. And honestly, it sounds so much fun. So we've got our first one, which is Courage peeking out behind a barrel behind his house or to the side of his house. And in the background, you see what used to be known as Area 51.5. And it's now been renamed Area 51.1, which we'll discuss at its actual picture. But this one is cool, because you can see it in the distance, and it's still got its fusion portal. It looks cleaner. It looks like it's part of it. The background's still bright. I'm pretty sure the old one was a little bit darker to let you know it's an infected zone. But this one, with its natural barriers, makes it look like it's in the distance. We also get to see Courage's new model. Not the full one. That comes in his actual model showcase later. But we get a good look at him, and he looks better. His big eyes have been shrunk. They're still big, but it's not like weirdly shaped. I'll post up the picture for those who want to see it, and I might get to talking about his model later, because I was a little sad with how he looked in the game. I got over it. I grew accustomed to it, but Legacy's Legacy's Courage is far better than the original's Courage, which I'm sure I'm going to get some heat for that, but I don't care. Our second one is a new area. This is called the Nowhere Tar Pits, unless that's not its actual name, because it isn't really capitalized, so it might be called something else, but I'm going to just call it the Tar Pits. This is anyone who's traveling between Devil's Canyon and Forsaken Valley has to cross this tar pits, which makes me wonder if the Darklands are now being connected to the map and are no longer an ocean away, which would be interesting. And it makes sense that there'd be a tar pit set where the Forsaken Valley is, since in real life a lot of tar pits hold dinosaur bones. The one I know of is the Brea Tar Pits, where I've seen a lot of the fossils there. So far, there's not much to say about it, because we don't see too much. It looks like there is a bridge underneath the rib cage, which I believe these rib cages are from Forsaken Valley. If not the actual place, then inside the infected zone. It'll be interesting if any character is even out there. I really doubt it, just because if anyone has been near a tar pit, it's thoroughly disgusting. Like, the smell is very bad, and considering how large these pits are, I'm guessing not a lot of people are going to be here. Maybe a few plumbers, because they have masks. Anyone with mask would be fine, but this might just be a land that no one's in. You just have to use it as a cross. So we'll see, but it's really cool seeing a new area that they've developed, and it connects. Our third one is where Area 51.5 is now renamed Area 51.1, and we get 2 new characters, Mr. White and Mr. Black. They're secret agents from Johnny Test. I don't know them as well. I didn't really care for Johnny Test. I could see it was kind of a parody off of Johnny Quest, obviously because their names are so similar. But I I didn't care for care for Johnny Quest, and I don't really care for Johnny Test. But it's cool. We get 2 characters out in Area 51.1 when no one was out there in the original. It's got a military base, which makes sense since Area 51.5 is based off of Area 51, which is often popularized in pop culture as where the aliens landed. They've got some top secret research project going on, which I guarantee us as players are going to be put in because we're going to help them with some missions. What that means, what's going to happen, we don't know. So we'll get back to that because actually these 2 tie into a much later one, which we won't talk about in this one just because it's not in the set of 5. It'll be in the next video. But I'm actually excited to see what they're going to do with these 2 as well as the 3rd guy and actually the organization altogether. Our 4th one is the Catacombs. I'm not even going to attempt to say what it is because I don't know what the title is. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not going to. But we get inside the Catacombs, which I always enjoyed. I loved the underground Catacombs because it was darker. You'll notice a theme here about ones I like. But it was darker, and there weren't too many people because there weren't a lot of missions down there. It was kind of just a quick one, and then you left. But I liked running around because I did get lost at one point. But it was kind of cool seeing where the eggplants and the chickens lived and how they built their own little mini city. It was a cool architecture. But basically, these catacombs, the catacombs sounds like they're going to be expanded. Because it says that they're under all of nowhere, so I don't know if that means if the catacombs are going to reach underneath the entire desert. It'll be interesting. I would really enjoy seeing them, seeing the length and seeing what they do down there. The actual picture we have is a gate that looks to be closed. I don't know if that's going to stay closed or if it'll eventually open, but there looks to be a bull head on the top. What that means, we don't know. I don't remember if there were any bull themes in the original Catacombs. Maybe when Retro comes out, I'll go look and double check, or if anyone has pictures to compare. But it'll be fun exploring it, seeing what they do, see if anyone outside of the chickens and the eggplants are down there. Yeah, not much else I can say for this up until we see it. Oh, but there are the Easter Egg Island heads at the top. I'm pretty sure those have real names, but I don't know the names for the life of me. I remember seeing them in Nowhere, so this is obviously just another connection that these are under Nowhere. If these Easter Island heads, if they have any connections or any poignant to the game, any missions, it'll be interesting to see. Otherwise, there's probably just going to be decoration, and I'm putting much more thought than I should into what this means. Our last one is actually the one that was early. It shows a photographer that everyone has termed Velma. I can see she does look a little bit like Velma, but for some reason, and I don't know if it was just because I was in the fandom and that's just what came to my head, but to me she looked like Tashigi, and someone's going to yell at me probably, but she looked like Tashigi from One Piece. She reminded me of her for some reason, maybe because it says she's lost, and when we first saw the Marine, she was kind of lost. But basically, it looks like she's behind a military base. I'm going to spoil it probably, but I think she might be over by Providence. I don't know if she is actually in the military base or if she's in the or at Providence, who is sort of military. They're like mock military in a way. As far as their show was concerned, they were pretty much the military. But considering that Universe looks like it's having its own actual military, I don't know what these guys would be. Maybe just their own organization, similar to the Plumbers being their own organization. But she's lost. I don't know if she's going to be an actual character or if the devs just made her and made up this story that she's the photographer taking pictures of everything and that's releasing it. So I don't know what will come of her. I think she's just for this one only. If we see her pop up again, that'd be fun. I think it would have been hilarious if she was the entire pictures of the day. Like, you see her pop up every once in a while taking pictures or something. I think it'd be fun, but not much to go off on just because we don't see much of the military base. I think it's Providence just because of the design. It looks similar to the way Providence was designed in the game when we were inside the zoo, because the actual place over in Townsville Park was ugly. That was obviously just, they slapped it on and said it's Providence. So I'm hoping if they do take residence in nowhere, which would make sense since in the show they were in a desert, I'm hoping they have their base in somewhere in nowhere just as an actual legit base, because it felt like a big slap that they just threw it on. So those are our 5. We got a new look at Nowhere. We've got the tar pits. We've got 2 new characters, the catacombs, and a lost photographer in a military base. We will be continuing the last 2 pictures of Nowhere in the next video, and I'm actually excited to talk about the last picture of the Nowhere recap. And then I will be caught up until the next 3 come. So I'll catch you guys all on the forums, and in Tom's famous words, stay gold.